ideology class. Ideology class, specifically on determination. Okay, long walk to freedom. I took the concept of long walk to freedom after, of course, listening to Nelson Mandela's story. I was in South Africa when Mandela died. Okay, so it drew me. Of course, we've known Mandela's story growing up, we've known the struggle, we've known what the issues are. But of course, by the time Mandela died, I was actually living in Pretoria specifically. The day he was lying in state. I think there's someone here who also was part of that story who is in this session currently. And it got me, it really got my attention. So that was when I started studying South Africa, studying the history of what Mandela did, how his story started. I even joined ANC political party, just to have an idea what the movement feels like, what it's all about, and to share in the spirit of the struggle. Okay, and I was greatly inspired by the Mandela story. Okay, greatly inspired by the Mandela story. One of the key things that came out for me from that story is okay, I'm supposed to play a short video clip for you guys. I almost forgot. Okay, let me do that for you quickly. It's a short clip. You are going to find it interesting, I believe. Okay, and then we'll jump back into our session. You guys can hear me, right?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just a short clip. All right. All right. All right. Awesome. So, Long Walk to Freedom is a movie. Idris acted as Mandela in that movie. So please, the name of the movie is Long Walk to Freedom. There's an assignment already I gave you guys on that. I will explain about it at the end of the session. So one of the things, there's also a book. The movie was, trying to adapt into screens what Mandela wrote in his book, Long Walk to Freedom. Is something I also encourage you guys, to read. And that is obviously where I got the topic of today's session. Okay. Changing Nigeria is a long walk. Okay, it's not something that we are going to achieve in a minute. It's not something that we are going to achieve in a day. It's also not something that we are going to achieve, even in 10 years or 15 years. It's something that is going to take time. When you also look at the story of what happened in South Africa, you look at the story of Mandela, you also realize that um, for instance, Mandela spent up to 27 years in prison before the struggle. Okay, came out from the prison, continued the struggle, and the peace, the growth, the success that South Africa is enjoying today is as a result of their ability to carry out their struggle in a strategic manner and to get the results that they have today. And there are lessons we are going to learn from it. Mandela said something when he was ending the conversation. He said that peace is the only way out. Okay, and I want us to interrogate what we understand by that peace. Okay, so when he says that peace is the only way out, I don't want us to have an assumption of what peace is, and that is why I want us to interrogate it a little bit. Okay, it is important because of course when you part of the things you're going to hear in Power Shift is that I don't want anybody to die. Okay, I don't want anyone to die in struggle. I don't want any. In fact, while we are redefining activism for you, in the sessions that we have taught is that activism is beyond just carrying placards. Activism is beyond just going to the streets and marching, destroying things, disrupting systems. I mean, there are times that is going to call for that, but that is not what we are about, okay? Power shift is not about causing disruption. We are about building intentionally, and I'm going to explain it to you, okay? And I believe that, you see, it took us time to study what we are doing to get to this stage. Okay, it's not just a wishful thinking. No, it took years. It took more than 5 years to get us to this point where we are. And if you look at the different sessions that we have been having, the different teachings, the build up is intentional. Okay, the sessions that we have been doing is on activism. And while we are talking about activism, we are redefining activism for you. That activism is beyond just going to the street. It is beyond just NSAS. It's beyond just protests. We have to be intentional in organizing ourselves. Okay. What is wrong with the Nigeria question? Sometimes people are asking, we are talking about Nigeria, talking about Nigeria. Why is Nigeria not changing? Let me tell you one of the reasons. One of the reasons Nigeria is not changing is that the people who have the same ideology about how Nigeria should be are not organizing themselves. Okay, so sometimes I've also been a victim of that. Okay, so for instance, after I became SUG president, I saw what politics was all about. I left politics. I've shared that story. I'm not going to bore you with the story. By the time I came back, I decided to go back to politics. I told myself, okay, I'm not going to join PDP or APC. Now, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to find a new party, start with them, and build with them. And that was how we started ANN, Alliance for New Nigeria. I was part of those who started ANN. I was their pioneer chairman in my state, Enugu State. And of course, we didn't win any election. To cut the long story short, the party was registered, the organization, become, disarrayed, everybody went their way. Okay. And I know someone called me and gave me an advice, which almost all of us get in Nigeria. The person was asking me, do you want to be an activist or do you want to bring about political change? I said, well, both. He said, no, you have to choose one. In Nigeria, you have to be one. I said, what do you mean? This is somebody I respect very well. He said that if you want to be an activist and just talk and talk about the issues, become somebody who is advocating, you become a national conscience, talking about what is not right, how to fix things, then you're an activist. But if you want to make a political change, you have to join a political party, and not just join a political party, join a ruling party. Get into that ruling party, then contest for election, win the election, and then do what you want to do. And I did that. Okay, I joined PDP. Okay, I served under PDP government. In fact, there were some projects I managed that I was thinking, oh, because I'm now working with the governor, that these projects are going to go like this. At the end of the day, I could not achieve anything. I could not achieve anything. That is the simple truth. Okay, little impact here and there, but the key achievements that was driving my passion, that was driving my hunger, I could not achieve it. In fact, when I began to drag my friends, I told some of my friends, okay, come, let's go and join PDP. Let's get involved. Let's go to their meetings. Let's see how things are done. We'll go to meetings, then go to government house, you listen to conversation, you start mixing up with politicians. You can't come to meeting and we are discussing education. You can't come to meetings and we are discussing water. You can't come to meeting and you are discussing the challenges that are affecting us as a people. And those things were turning my stomach. Sometimes I will come out with my friend. My friend will tell me, we can't continue doing this. I'm tired. Look at what we come here to discuss. People are dying. There are problems in the community. You come there, a politician, a local government chairman will be telling you, they will open their phone and be telling you, when I went to Dubai, see the lady that massaged me. Or do you know this belt I'm wearing now? I bought it $1,000. You see my shoe. You see the house I'm building. I'm importing everything I'm using. That is the conversation you see in these meetings. In fact, when politicians tell you they are in the meeting, I'm telling you they are not having any reasonable meeting. It's just to sit, drink, talk about frivolities, talk about women, and we were getting sick about it. And it came to my point, I was asking, so how do I actually create change in this atmosphere? I want to tell you what our problem is. How do I now begin to create change in this atmosphere? You see, it's not possible. So when well-meaning Nigerians who have passion for Nigeria come to do something, they see your potential, they will just tell you, join any political party, go there and change. You are not going to change 1 naira. You are not going to change anything. And that is why you get into their system, they frustrate you, they kill your desire. Some of you end up joining them, their system, doing it their own way. And at the end of the day, we find ourselves in that continuous cycle. So what the problem is that we that believe that Nigeria should be different, should function differently, we are not organizing ourselves. We keep mixing ourselves. We keep dividing ourselves. Okay, I was in a meeting the other day, 2 weeks ago. Some people were talking about training up people, sending them to different political parties. I say, you and I know there is no political party in Nigeria. What are you sending them there to do? He said some of them are going to do this one. I said, mention any person who is working in PDP or APC who is not compromising. None of them. I remember my friend asked me one question. My friend then became the local government chairman. Something happened. He was supposed to do something about it. Governor called him and told him, this is what you do. This is what you say. He was supposed to lie. He was supposed to say things that are wrong. And he was looking at me. He was not asking me, so what do you expect me to do now? Do you now expect me to defy the governor's order, go outside there and say the truth? Or do you expect me to lie? And what do you want me to answer him? Am I going to tell him, okay, go there, tell the truth? They give you the ticket. You signed the agreement with them. You said, okay, come, I'm going to be lawyer. I'm going to be this one. And that is why you see sometimes well-meaning people who are campaigning, telling you that when they get involved in government, they will do this. By the time they get there, they will not be able to do that because the system that enables them to get into the power is not going to allow them to take that action. So year in, year out, we keep mobilizing, we keep identifying, we keep standing for the same system that enslaved us, which the key actors of those systems are not willing to let go. That is where the problem is. It is not that we cannot change Nigeria. It is not that we cannot make things to happen. The reason is that we keep, so you see, I joined PDP, okay, and it wasn't working. One of my mentors wanted to run for governor. He said he's going to run under Apga. I said, okay, I'm leaving PDP. I had a relationship with the governor. I was working with the state. I resigned. Why? Because I knew I wasn't getting what I wanted there. I resigned from my position, went into Apga. We did what we did and all those things. And then it was after that I sat myself down and I began to ask myself key questions. In fact, I called one of my mentors. We had a meeting, had several meetings. One of them I wouldn't even want to, mention their name for, but a highly placed individual in Nigeria. He gave me 2 advices from both of them. The first one told me that that she sees my potential. In fact, she is the wife of one of the notable vice presidents in Nigeria, former vice presidents in Nigeria. I was in their living room and we were talking. He said, no, so you have a lot of potentials, but based on what you want to do, this environment is not for you. And he said, that Nigeria is not worth fighting for. I'm talking about a woman that is nothing less than 85 years old, telling me their story, everything that they have done, how they have fought for this country, everything that she and her husband did before the husband passed on. He said, everything we stood for, and this man died and went to the grave and he never saw all of them. And she looked into my eyes and said, Nigeria is not worth fighting for. Take care of your family, find whatever you want to do with your life and move on. Leave Nigeria alone. Telling you the honest truth. I went to my other mentor. We had that meeting in London. I was in London and he came to London. We sat down. I told him, okay, that I'm at a point where I'm asking myself, what's the way forward when it comes to Nigeria? And what do I really want to do with my life? Am I just going to be doing what I'm doing? To what end? And then the key questions I was asking him in that meeting is that I wanted to find out, after studying everything I was studying, looking at systems, looking at revolutions, looking at change, looking at countries. And I came to the meeting that day telling him that I felt we are not sincere. We who want change, that we are not sincere. And what I meant by that we are not sincere is the fact that if we are really different, let's say we are really different, I'm really different from people who are in PDP, then why do I have to join them? If I'm really different from the people who are in APC, why do I have to join them? When I mean difference, is difference in ideology. So for instance, these people believe that to win an election, they have to rig the election. Okay, I don't believe I want to rig an election. But now I find myself in a party of people who wants to rig an election. How can we coexist? And that was when I now began the conversation that we need to start carving out our own niche. We need to start separating ourselves and organizing ourselves according to our own ideology, according to the things that we believe in. If we believe in the Constitution, if we believe in human rights, we need to start identifying what those ideologies are. And then we begin to organize ourselves. So when you go to America, for instance, you see a Democrat and you see a Republican. A Democrat is not a friend to a Republican. They don't agree. Why? Their ideologies are different. They are fundamentally disagreeing on key issues about life. Why these people favor liberalism, the other people favor conservatism. So it doesn't allow them to agree. And I say that some of us who don't agree on certain things or certain issues in Nigeria have not been able to distinguish ourselves. We have not been able to distinguish our own platforms. If an average Nigerian now can say, okay, there's this political party I know, they will never engage in corruption. Where is that political party? If an average Nigerian is to say, there is this organization I know that they are really, really doing something to change the situation of Nigeria and they are going through a process, where is that organization? I said, we are not building alternative platforms. All of us want a quick fix. And that is why I'm talking about long walk to freedom. I was even suggesting to him, I said, we are supposed to separate ourselves, build our own organization, if possible, build our own political party. Even if we don't win an election, we just keep on building it intentionally. Even if I am not able to run an election, we build a system that even the next generation, maybe 20 years from now, we can now have individuals who can now get into office through that political party and affect change in Nigeria. And he said, but no, so this is a long time. What are we going to do? Where are we going to get the money? How are we going to do this one? And that is still the problem, because we want to do it fast. So you see, any politician that wants to build a political party in Nigeria is planning to build it for the next election. He wants to use it to run for election. And by the time he's done running for election, they dismantle the party. See what happened with Labour. When they were forming Labour in 2023, I said, no, the foundation is wrong. The foundation is wrong. They say, Obi. From there, the same people we put into political office, you can't differentiate them from those who are there in terms of ideology, because we are in a hurry. We think it's about the next election. They are talking about coalition. Who are the people talking about coalition? They are the same actors that even put this government in power today. They are the same actors. They are the same actors who were moving around, whether they are in the north, or whether they're in the east, or whether they were the same people. And now we are all in this mess. You are now telling us, oh, you have a solution. But you couldn't give us solution previously when you promised us solution. How are we sure you are going to give it to us now? So, what is peace to you that is listening to me now? When we say we are not going to, we don't want protests, we don't want to shed innocent lives, we don't want to do anything. So what is peace? Let me define peace for you. Peace is not silence. You might say you don't want to engage in protests, you don't want to do all those things, you want to mind your peace. Peace is not silence. That is why this conversation is about raising your voice. Peace is not silence. Mandela was peaceful, but Mandela was not silent. That was why he told them, we can't win the war, but we can win the election. And I want to say it to everybody here, we might not win the war. They might be richer than us. They might have more guns than us. They might be in the government house and they are more powerful than us, but we can win an election. We can organize and speak about our issues. We can organize and begin to draw attention on things that matter to us. We can start rebuilding our community. Those ones are low-hanging fruit for us. There are things that we can do. So peace is not silence. The other thing I want to say is that peace is not apathy. It doesn't mean I'm now going to give up. You know, when people are saying that, the current president has taken over the nation, has taken over the structure, this one and that, I used to ask them, even before 2023 election, if you tell people that even Labour Party can win a governorship election, you see, Nigerians are angry and hungry. You can repeat that process any year if you understand what to do. Peace is not apathy. Peace is not passive. Peace is not passive. It doesn't mean that we are now going to remain quiet, fold our hands, and then be in a roller coaster. And then they will be carrying us to where we don't want to go and where we don't know. That's not what peace is. Peace is not avoidance of trouble. It doesn't mean we will not engage. It doesn't mean we will not build. It doesn't mean we will not organize. So in talking about our ideology, there are few things that we designed under Power Shift that I want to constantly draw your attention to. Okay, the first thing is that we must raise our voice through activism. We must engage by building organization, and the last part of it is political participation. You see, we are not starting with political participation. We are starting with engaging our voice, raising our voice, engaging our community, and then eventually political participation. So what I'm trying to say is that the part of peace that we are pursuing is the part of organizing. We are organizing change. Change must be organized. And that change is a long walk to freedom. We are not going to organize it overnight. We are not organizing it for the next election. It's a long-term project that as young people, we want to come together and begin to organize ourselves. Because it's a long-term project. It took Mandela 27 years. How many of you can decide to say, okay, let's commit to a process of organizing, even if it takes us the next 20 years? No matter what is happening in Nigeria, we are consistent, we are building. No matter who dies, we are consistent, we are building. No matter the scarcity, we are consistent, we are building. The challenge is that we have not built consistently. So that is why you see people, they start movements, they end it. This person will start this one, they will end it. We have not consistently organized over years. Look at the people who are ruling over us. They have consistently organized over years. The other day, we are listening to Amechi. Amechi made a speech that he started this politics since he was in the university. He has been doing this politics for the past 30 years of his life. The past 30 years of his life. And an average Nigerian youth will want to just go and do NSAS and say, it's time for young people. It's time for young people. Who gives young people power if it's their time, if they are not organized? Is it time for you to go and reproduce the same thing, or is it time for you to do something different? So we must organize ourselves. In the process of change, we understand that this is going to take time. It means that we have to be patient. And we have to understand that this is a long walk to freedom. As I summarize, peace demands that right now we become active citizens. That is the demand of peace. And that is the definition that I'm trying to talk to you about. Peace that we are talking about is that we are going to become active citizens. And what is our goal? By becoming active citizens, our goal is to start creating an inspiring community change. We have to start doing things within our community. But if we are not active together, you saw the previous speaker who was talking about their organization having 20,000 volunteers. But you see that we have not done that action when it comes to national development. We have not built that action when it comes to national change. We can build religious organization, we can build whatever organization that we want to do, but when it comes to affecting politics, which decides almost every area of our life, we have not been intentional in organizing it. That is why we are having this conversation. So we become active citizens. How do we do that? Through collaboration. Salamatu has taught us about collaboration. Many of us are isolated. You are in Nnewi, the other person is in Kaduna, the other person is in Jos, the other person is Adamawa. We are isolated by our passion, by our pain, by our different ideologies. But through collaboration, we can become active citizens. That is when we have a voice. I on my own, my voice is voiceless. You on your own, your voice is voiceless. But when we put our voices together, it becomes a powerful voice. So that is why we are talking about collaboration. So it won't be just one person speaking somewhere, being isolated. So you see, one of the things that happened to Natasha, for instance, okay, my personal opinion, I stand to be corrected, okay, Senator Natasha, one of the things that happened to her is that she was trying to attack a system standing alone. See, Nigerians talking in social media is not active citizenship. Oh. It's not being an active citizen that you are commenting on social media. What they did to Natasha is not good. What is the country turning into? Posting it on your WhatsApp, that is not what active citizenship means. Active citizenship means that you have to be organized somewhere. You have to be included with some certain group of people who have the same ideology, who is going to the same place. You see, why they were able to succeed in doing to Natasha what they did to her is because she was alone. In the Senate, she was standing alone. Amongst Nigerians, she's standing alone. The noise is over. She is suspended. And the country moves on. The country continues because there is no collaboration. So she does not have a voice. You must pay attention to what I'm sharing with you guys. On your own, you don't have a voice, but together. You even saw when the last speaker said something like that we become stronger when we are together. When we are together. Don't say that on your own, you are going to. No, we have to. Imagine if we begin to build this collaboration. We continue to build it in each state, build it in each local government, build it in each ward in Nigeria. Time will come when we open our mouth and speak. Every fiber in this continent will hear it. That is how to create change. And then how that change is sustained is by doing what? By making sure that we are identifying and building with the right people who have the right mindset, who understand what we are doing, and who are committed to the objectives of our pursuit. So we want to have our voice. What do? We have to do what? We have to collaborate. And that is what makes us active citizens. The next part is community change. So why are we coming together as active citizens? To begin to bring change to our community, to begin to affect change. You saw the last speaker also say it, that we can't depend on the people who created the problem to solve it. You see, the politicians like the way we are. They like us divided. They like us divided. Because if we are not divided, there won't be northern candidates, there won't be southern candidates, there won't be eastern candidates. So we have to divide so that when the candidate comes out, they will tell us, okay, this one is the candidate of the north, or this one is the candidate of the east. So the division is achieving what they want to achieve. You can't expect them to bring that solution. So we have to start solving our own community problems. We have to start addressing our own human rights issues. Find ways to address our educational problems. Find a way to organize ourselves around our economic problem. You might want to start a business, you don't have money. But do you know that there might be another person in this platform who has money, but they don't have an idea? Do you know why most Nigerian youth are stuck where they are? Because there's no collaboration. You have money, you don't have idea. You have idea, you don't have money. But both of you are isolated on your own, and you're not able to come together to achieve results. So part of what we are planning to do in this community change is that what we are going to build an economic solution to the challenges that we are having in our communities. We are going to come together and do this. They're going to come together and contribute. And what is the value that drives that? Is trust. We spoke about it last week. The value that drives that is trust. And that trust is our power. Our ability to trust each other, come together, and bring powerful change in our community. That is where our power lies. Our power lies in the community. That is also how we build trust with the community. That is how Nigerians will now begin to trust us. Nigerians will begin to see us differently. They will say, there's something about this organization. There's something about what they are doing. It looks that they are interested in this country. It looks that they are interested in bringing change. So peace must be active. And peace must be changing the community. So like I said, peacefulness is not apathy. It's not staying on your own. It doesn't concern me. I have a good job. I have a good house. My kids are attending private school, and then it doesn't concern me. No, one day it will concern you. One day it will concern you. My sister was once kidnapped, and she was not released until a ransom was paid. The whole trauma, the whole impact it had in her life, until it happens to you, you will not know why you should be concerned. You know, when you just hear it in the news, you hear, so people was massacred in Benue. You just look at it and say, hey, what is this country turning into? And then you keep quiet. No, you have to become active citizen. You have to start identifying. If Power Shift does not look like an organization you want to identify with, create your own, but become an active citizen. Don't be silent. Peace is not silence. Peace is not apathy. Be active. Nigeria is our making. And then the final part, which is what we are talking about today, is determination. Determination. Getting involved in voter education, policy advocacy. Some of you here are going to run for office. It's not going to be all of us. Some are going to support those who are running. Some are going to go to demand accountability. But we have to be determined. Our oppressors are more determined than us. They are more passionate about Nigeria than us. Some of us just want to stay by the side and then be watching and be hoping that one day, in an average Nigerian's mind, they believe that one day they are just going to wake up one Saturday morning, open their door, and then suddenly they realize that Nigeria has changed. Well, wake up, it will never happen. It will never happen. People have to sit down, organize, plan, implement their plan, and then see Nigeria become what it is supposed to be. So peace means being active. Peace means changing the community. And peace means participating in decision making. So you see the progression. We organize ourselves through trust, through collaboration, and then we begin to change our community through trust and also building trust. And then through determination, we get involved in making political decisions. So it's not just about organizing ourselves now. It's not just about creating change within our community, but we will begin to participate in decision making, being a lawmaker, being a governor, being a local government chairman. We will now begin to participate in decision making, and that is how the nation is going to change. Okay? I conclude by saying that peace is not the absence of noise, nor the lack of care. It is the active, courageous pursuit of justice, compassion, and truth. It demands more than calm words. It calls for bold action. To build true peace, we must confront, engage, and persevere. Transformation is a marathon, not a sprint. So we are not saying let's do this for the next 2 years or for the next 5 years. It's for the rest of our lives. It's for the rest of our lives. We are going to be talking about what we are talking about. We are going to be doing it. We are going to be implementing it. Some of us are going to get involved. Some of us are going to, help organize whatever role you are going to play. All of us are going to get involved for a long term. For a long term. Real change, whether in a nation, a community, or the human heart, takes time. It takes endurance. There will be setbacks, there will be discomfort, there will be seasons of doubt. A lot of people are going to attend this training and say, hey, this Nigerian thing you guys are talking about, I'm not really interested. I want to make money. Yes, it's fine. Move on. Thank you. It's okay. But remember, when the chips are down, you remember why we need to have a good country. So, but transformation is possible for those who are willing to play the long game. You see, those who are willing to play the long game. This is very, very important. It is possible if we are going to play the long game. Are you here because you just want a fellowship? You just want to post it on social media, I have a fellowship. Are you here because you just want to say, okay, let me know what this thing, let me know what it's about. Let me just look at it. Is that why you are here? Fine, there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying that there should be more. There should be more. You are not here by mistake. You are not here because you saw an advert. This is a national call. This is a clarion call. This is a call to wake you up from apathy, to wake you up from silence, to wake you up from doing nothing, to telling yourself that there is a cause, there is a nation to fight for, there's a future to fight for. We have children to fight for. We have a nation to build. Africa has not contributed its quota in the world. And it is our generation that will begin to do something about it. Stop looking at this. In fact, after speaking with some people about the issue of Nigeria, I told myself that I'm speaking to the wrong generation. That I'm trying to tell them about the future of Nigeria. You see, like the previous speaker said, Mr. Larry, that some of these people have 10 years, 20 years to live. You and I are going to be probably here, God willing, in the next 50, 60, 70 years, we are still here. Some of them, they have tried their best. They are tired. And that was when I told myself, maybe you are trying to talk to people about what you are supposed to be doing. Or maybe you are trying to talk to people about what another generation is supposed to do. That generation has to have their own fight. Each generation have their own fight. This is the fight of our generation, but we are going to do it differently. We're not going to do it the way others have done it. We are going to find a different way to do it. And what is that different way? By organizing ourselves around the ideologies we believe in, getting the right people involved, building it over long term. He said, we must reject the quick fix. We must reject the quick fix. I didn't reject it in the past, but I've rejected it now. What is the quick fix? Okay, enter PDP. When you get there, you make a change. Did they make any change? They did not make any change. It did not make any change. Anybody that is telling you anything about change and they are involved in this current government in Nigeria is compromising. Call the person and I will prove it to the person. You are compromising. You might not see it as compromise. You might just see it that, hey, you are there. What can you say? What can you do? That is compromise on its own. So you just stay there, make money for your family, take care of your kids, buy a new car, build a new house, and then you come and speak grammar to us that this nation has gone beyond repair. But you can start building intentionally. You can start building intentionally. So we must reject the quick fix and the shallow comfort of silence and apathy. Instead, let us continue to do the slow, steady, courageous work of building peace with justice, love with action, and hope with endurance. There's something I remember saying to Salamatu, that I don't care so much about how fast we are moving. I don't care so much about how fast we are moving. What I care is that we are moving. Even if it's slow, let's be moving. Even if we hold fellowship and then it's 10 people that are there, let's teach those 10 people, but let's keep moving. Let's hold it more often. Let's keep moving. In the next year, in the next 2 years, in the next 3 years, let's keep moving. We are not going to change Nigeria in a day, but we should also not run to a quick fix. We can build slowly, but the most important thing is that we have a hope that will endure. And I close by saying that because the future we desire will not be wished into existence. We can't wish a new Nigeria. We can't wish a good leader. We can't say, oh, I wish that one day Nigeria will have a good leader. No, you can't wish it. You can't wish it. Even if there's a good leader, that good leader cannot emerge with the current system. That's what I'm trying to say. The current system will not allow that good leader to emerge. So what do we do? We have to start building it. We have to start building our own system based on our ideology. We have to start doing it one step based on our truth, based on the courage we have. Act at any time that we have opportunity to do it. And then what happens is that suddenly the right leader shows up. And when the right leader is showing up, we have the right system that will empower that right leader. And then that right leader will ride on the system and then move ahead. One of the things I have against Peter Obi, I believe he has good intentions for the nation. One of the things I have against him is that he has an ample time to build an alternative system. Why is he not doing it? Why is he not doing it? Even after the last election, why is he not intentionally building his own system? Even before he ventured into PDP, why is he not building an alternative system? Because beyond your intention, we need to build. We went to, let's say, for instance, that there was an effective system that was built, and then they went into election in 2023. All those people who now won under PDP and migrated or under LP and migrated into Labour or APC, it wouldn't have happened. So even the little success they had, they lost it because they were not building based on ideology. That is the problem. And he will say there is no time. Yes, but you must not be president. You can use your good intention to build a political platform, build a system that another good person like you, when they now show up in the next 5 years, they can use it. Those are my challenges. I must not be the president. But if I have the knowledge to build the system, I should build the system. If I have the power, if I have the finances, if I have the leverage to build the system, then I should build it. If not for us, at least for the next generation. Okay? I'm going to be handing over to Shem now, but let me say this. I want each group, each member of the group, you guys should try, go to, I think it's available on YouTube. Go to YouTube, search for Long Walk to Freedom, watch the movie, then have a group discussion, discuss it. While you are discussing it, identify key ideologies that shaped Mandela's reform, even after he became president, okay? Find out what worked and what we can learn from it as Nigerians. And then appoint someone again who will do the presentation. And then the presentation day is going to be on the 28th of June. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed the session. My time is up. I'm going to be handing over to the moderator now. Bless you all.
Thank you so much, sir. We can do better. Let's use our virtual hands and celebrate. This is so powerful. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, we have hands already. So if you have any question, you can raise your hand so that please, you go straight to your questions. Yes, Mr. Ayotunde.
I've never heard of
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for the very insightful section. The first section was also very great. Yeah, so my question is that I mean, you said if we really want to effect change, we can't be part of these current political parties that seems problematic. So my question is, so for those parties that that emerge, of course, we have a lot of political parties in Nigeria, but for for those who, I mean, for those parties who you know who were formed back then, I believe they kind of have, I mean, they kind of had, mindsets like this. I believe, I want to believe. So, what went wrong, and how can we ensure that, forming another political party will not, for perhaps it's the environment, but then that when we form a new political party, for instance, that will not also compromise in the long run and then end up being like that. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I have a quick response to that. Thank you, Ayo, for that good question. Um, um, some of the things I found out that was a problem is that one, most of them built a political party to win an election. If you watch Nigerian trend, you will see, even in this current election now, you see what is going on now. Okay, El Rufai, Kwankwaso, Atiku, Obi, they are now talking about coalition to form a party. That is always the Nigerian way. The Nigerian way is always in a hurry. Okay, next election is coming. 2027 is here. Okay, so because 2027 is here, let's form something. So most times, those things, it leads to the second problem. Those parties are not formed based on ideology. Let me give you an instance. Someone called me recently. Someone called me recently. Someone called me recently, said that they want us to run for election in 2027. Okay. And then this is how we are going to do it. We are going to divide the states, that he knows my capacity, he knows what I've been able to do. He saw my acting in the last election. So I will take over one senatorial zone. He will take over. He's bringing some other guys. And this one, it sounded nice. He said, if we do that, we will take over the states. It sounded nice. And I was just waiting for him. When he was done, I said, I want to ask you one question. I said, the question I want to ask you, so what do you want to achieve? Why do you want to take over the state? He said, you will say the normal thing. Okay, I was going somewhere with the question. And then I asked him, did you ask me what I want to achieve? So you said you want to help our people and you want to build our state. Do you know if I want to destroy the state? Do you know if I want to destroy our people? And I told him that the conversation you are starting is already fundamentally wrong. We should not start by election. We should not start by running for office. We should not start with political party. We must first of all start by asking ourselves, what do we want? What is our Nigerian dream? That is why you see how we started from participation. Let me go back to that image again so that you understand what we are trying to say. So we are starting from activism. We start lending our voice, engagement, and then political participation. Do you notice that in countries where things are working, when you want to run for office, people want to know what is your activity in the society even before you started running for office? That is engagement. Nigerian politics is psychophancy. Join courts, be a thug, then follow politicians around, then you will get into political office. So most of those parties are not formed based on ideology. They are just formed because they are angry, or because they want another candidate, or because they want an Eastern candidate, or because they want a candidate from the West. Why should it always be the North ruling? We also from the West, we need to rule. Okay, so let's form our own political party. That is what it's about. So there's a quick fix attitude towards it. The second one is that there is no ideology. And the third one is that there is no internal democracy of the party. So you start up a party internally. You see somebody now, this person is qualified. This person has the character. This person has what it takes to change Nigeria. You say, but because he's not from the North. You know, these Easterners, if you give this guy this thing now, because he's from the East, so there is no internal democracy. There's no internal equality. You have already fractured the party. So people are inside the party, but their tribes are bigger than the party. They are more loyal to their tribe. They are more loyal to their religion. They are more loyal to their stomach more than the party. And the party itself does not have internal governance. So even when a member is not doing what is right, the party does not even have the power to confront that member. So there's no internal regulation. There's no internal rule of law. Somebody can cross carpet. You can join any party you want. You can come out of any party you want. There is no rule. There is no restriction. It's like being in a wide field. So there is more. If we keep going into it, there's more. So these are the things we must now look at and then begin to ask ourselves, how do we do things differently? First of all, you must start from the Nigerian dream. What do we want out of Nigeria? And like I said, we will not start a political party first. We'll first of all reconcile Nigerians. We'll first of all build trust. That's where collaboration and trust, then political participation. So you see where we started? Activism, engagement, then we heal. An Igbo man will be comfortable with a Yoruba man. A Yoruba man will be comfortable with an Hausa man. All of us, wherever we are coming from, irrespective of our tribe, will be able to sit. If I'm walking and I'm not concerned about this person behind me, is he going to stab me? What is he going to do? We need to get to that part first. And then we come together. We build a strong organization. Then when Nigerians see it, they want to come. There has to be an internal training system as well. How many political parties in Nigeria have membership training? How many political parties in Nigeria have even things that a member should benefit, or a process a member should go to, or even voting, let's say primaries? How many political parties in Nigeria conduct effective primaries? So if you don't build an organization that is free from corruption and effective, you cannot build Nigeria. Let me say that again. If we cannot build an organization that is free from corruption, that is not affected by anybody's tribe, whether they are coming from north or east or west, if we cannot build an organization like that, or a political party like that, we can't build Nigeria. It will continue to affect us. Okay, thank you very much. I think, like I said, there will be more, but
Thank
because
you,
of
sir.
time. Thank you.
Time is really up. Thank you. So I would love to invite Amina for a few announcements before we close.
Okay, thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, sir, for that wonderful session. We also thank the first speaker. So I hope you all enjoy your salad break and this little salad gift from us. As you can see, it's already past 9. So the few announcements I would like to give today. The first one is regarding our project. So far, I've seen about 7 submissions, so we still have 2 more groups yet to submit, and I just want to tell you that I'm going to open the link again for you to be able to submit today. So after this session, try as much as possible to submit your project. Then the second thing, I have an exciting news for you. Starting from next week, we'll be sending you the recorded sessions, the one that you missed. So you go through, check the sessions you missed, and then rewatched. After you rewatch, we'll be sending you forms so that you can fill. That way, at least you can still graduate even after missing some of the classes, as far as you rewatch and answer the questions. So that's all I have for today. Thank you. Shem, over to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Amina, for the wonderful notices. So we are actually done with today's class. And I don't know whether our boss has something to say before. In this space. Okay,
So I think that's all for today. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Session.
all right. Thank you, everyone. Have a blissful night.
Roll the beat, let's go. We've got to stand. It is now.